We are coming to you from Progressive Field in Cleveland, Ohio, where tonight Comcast Sportsnet presents White Sox baseball. It's Todd Frazier, Melky Cabrera, Jose Abreu in the Sox as they get set to butt heads with Jason Kipnis and Terry Francona's first place Cleveland Indians. Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'm Ken Harrelson with Steve Stone as we get set to bring you Game 2 of this three-game series. In the opener last night, we lost that ball game 10-4, but twice we had a two-run lead. But the Indians' offense, they would not stop. You had the youngsters and the veterans.
Jose Ramirez is one of those guys that will win the MVP for this team early in the season, and nothing has changed. It was 2-0 at the time. He comes up, hits a two-run homer. Now, this is a guy that's never hit in double figures in home runs any time in his career before this year. Mike Napoli, who's never driven in 100 runs, was brought to this team to drive in runs, and this is RBI number 100 for him last night. And together they made quite a duo. 5 for 10. One home run for Ramirez. A couple driven in for Napoli, as you can see. 4 driven in for Ramirez. 3 scored for Napoli. So a very young position player from the Indian organization, and a guy they brought in to do just what he's been doing. Mike Napoli, who's won before, is trying to lead them to win now.
Well, on the bump for us tonight is a very fine southpaw, Jose Quintana, and he's had good luck against this tribe. Last time out, had a real rough outing, but we'll see.
Kansas City has really given him a terrible time. He's 1-9 lifetime against the Royals, and last time when he ran into him, he had a difficult time. They hit everything in sight. But this is a different team. The Indians are a team that he's thrown well against, and hopefully tonight he will find the magic. Because when he is right, as he was last time he saw the Indians, he's pretty tough. He's trying to stay over 500 and try to win his 13th of the year tonight. And you can see his career against them, 6-3 with an ERA of a little over 2.5. In this ballpark especially good at 2-1 with an ERA of 1.38. So he's looking for a big win tonight. And the Indians, who know that Detroit lost their ball game this afternoon, they're looking to take their magic number down to 1, and they can do that with a victory today.
All right. We'll hope that Quintana can stop that. So sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way.
White Sox baseball on CSN Chicago is brought to you in part by Toyota. Discover more in a Toyota. Visit buyatoyota.com or your local Toyota dealer today. Let's go places. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. Audi. Truth in engineering. And by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV.
It's a beautiful night for baseball. A little cool here in Cleveland, and we're back at Progressive Field where the Indians saw the Tigers give up a 2-run lead in the last inning with 2 outs, and they lost that ball game. The magic number now for the Indians is 2. And so it's bullpen night for them. They're starting Cody Anderson in this one. He has been a reliever for them. Terry Francona wants him to go 2, maximum 3 innings if he can. And then it's going to be bullpen night, and we're going to see a whole lot of them from a manager who likes to go to that bullpen liberally, and tonight he's absolutely forced to do it, what with 2 starters out. So every 5th day is an adventure for Terry Francona and his team. Last night it was a little easier for them because they scored 10 runs. And tonight they're facing a guy who's thrown very well against them career-wise, and that is Jose Quintana. Time now for the T-Mobile greater coverage of baseball, and it centers around the Texas Rangers, who clinched their division for the 2nd straight time. Won back-to-back division titles for the 3rd time in team history. You can see where they did it before. And Jeff Bannister, who managed a long time in the minor leagues, the 3rd manager since 1994 to win division titles in his first 2 years. Bob Brenly with the Diamondbacks. He also won the World Series in 2001. And Ron Gardenhire with the Twins, he did it 3 straight years. So Jeff Bannister joining some elite company. And congratulations to the Texas Rangers. Now it's a question of who they're going to play.
Well, with everything that Jeff Bannister has endured and gone through in his life, congratulations to him. He has paid his dues in many respects.
There is no doubt that his time with Pittsburgh Pirates really served him well, and then he got his opportunity with the Texas Rangers for the first time as a major league manager. Had a lot of experience in the minor leagues, and he's making it pay. He was a major league coach for a while. And let's take a look at how Robin is going to line them up. It's our Kia starting lineup for the Sox. Adam Eaton not in the lineup. He was banged up last night, and Tim Anderson leading it off with Melky Cabrera in the 2 spot. Jose Abreu against the Indians this year has been very good in 17 games, and it's Justin Morneau, the DH. Todd Frazier, Avisail Garcia, Alex Avila, Carlos Sanchez, and Leury Garcia rounded out the Honda City defense. And now Terry Francona is going to put them out there. Behind Cody Anderson is Coco Crisp, Rajay Davis, and Brandon Guyer in right field tonight. Jose Ramirez, Francisco Lindor, Jason Kipnis, Carlos Santana at first base. Roberto Perez gets a nod behind the plate, and our Lexus Pursuing Perfection starting pitcher is hard-throwing Cody Anderson. He's basically fastball straight change. 2-4 ERA, 6.24, and a tender elbow really has forced him into the bullpen. They didn't want to extend his innings because that elbow was giving him some problems, so he's thrown very well lately out of the pen, and we'll see exactly what he has tonight. The umpires for the game tonight: Jim Wolf behind the plate, Bill Miller, the crew chief, is at first, Tony Randazzo at second, and Brian Knight is at third. So on a night where it's going to dip into the low 60s, maybe the ball won't be quite as lively as it was last night. So they've thrown the ball around the infield. Cody Anderson is ready. We're ready also, and time for me to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Ken Harrelson.
All right, Stoney, thank you. And once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to White Sox baseball right here on Comcast Sportsnet. And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours as here's the big right-hander's first pitch, and there's a little Kansas City special right off the bat. Tony comes in hitting at 278. He was 2 for 4 last night.
First ball fastball, little inside-out swing. Didn't get a whole lot of it, but enough. The first thing you think about is perhaps with Adam Eaton out of the lineup at the top, maybe you're thinking about running, but Perez is one of those guys that can shut you down. Thrown out close to 50% of would-be base stealers this year.
That's if some pitcher out there on the bump gives him a chance.
Yep.
Just a short lead by Tim. He's 10 for 12 in stolen bases. And here is Melky, 2 for 3 last night with a 2-run homer. Sox, as we talked about in the opening, twice last night had a 2-run lead in that ball game. We have had so many leads, could not hold them.
Pretty good straight change, and that probably is the best pitch Anderson has. As you can see, Melky has tormented him over the course of his career.
He did not go. Sox come in hitting at 257 as a club, with a 4.17 team ERA. Long set.
Anderson just turned 26. He's a big man. 6'4", well in excess of 240.
Seems like that's getting to be the norm. 6'4", 6'5", 230, 240, 250.
Now, there's so many right-handed pitchers that they like their right-handers bigger if they can get them.
Ball gets away. That might be a pass ball.
Looked like a pass ball. Looked like it wasn't in the dirt. And Perez on the transfer had to get away.
No, it's a pass ball. Well, I mean, the wild pitch.
Was in the dirt, yeah.
.66 degrees at game time. Get him over. Pick him up.
Henderson drafted in 2011. Became the second fastest of that class to get to the major leagues, behind the Diamondbacks' Trevor Bauer, who we saw last night, who threw pretty well for the Indians.
That's down into the corner, and that's going to be a run-scoring double. Here's the throw, and he'll get in there with his 39th two-bagger. Anderson scores 1-0 Sox.
Melky with run number 79 driven in. And with that first Red Sox run, eClick Lending will donate $100 to the Pat Tillman Foundation, supporting military veterans and their families.
So here's Abreu. Now Abreu's got to get a job done here. He comes in at 297, 25 homers, 96 driven in. Takes first pitch strike right there. Abreu 0 for 4 last evening, and he saw his teammate Avi Garcia with a man at second, Frazier at second, nobody out, try to get him over, and he did with a opposite field home run.
Trevor Bauer said that. He said Avi looked down the left field line. I think he pulled the ball. Couldn't locate the ball. He said he couldn't believe it went out of the ballpark. Bauer said that. That ball just hugged the line and kept on going.
Well, Bauer's from California, isn't he?
I don't know. He probably should be.
There's a good at bat. He's going to get him over. And now they're going to wave him. And here's the throw cut off. They're going to go to second, get him hung up. Now there was nobody at first, so Lindor chases him down, but it's 2-0 Sox. RBI number 97.
There was a chance that this is going to be a play at the plate. So normally you'd say, well, not a great base running play, but in this case, it forced Santana to cut the ball off, and obviously then they run him down, but 3 away from the coveted century mark and runs batted in.
Well, when you get this close to the end of the season and one of your big guns is sitting on 96 RBIs,
you keep on
Joe,
going.
you're going to send him home.
You keep on going. You make him throw you out.
Joe McEwing is coaches are well aware of circumstances.
Well, Geyer normally is a left fielder. That's one of the things taken into consideration. So you figure they're going to run. They're certainly going to run on Coco Crisp every chance they get. And you got Rajay Davis in center field.
Well, if Perez could have handled that hop that he was going to get, they would have had it. Justin 0 for 4 last night, so that is 2 out. All right, now let's check out our picks to click. Anderson is the fans' pick. The crew went with Avila. Steve's going with Frazier. And Tommy Sheridan, Bob Boaz, Jeff Bogacki, Mitch Kuchar, Lindsey Jordan, and I. We're going to go with Carlos Sanchez.
The Indian pen is up and going. So for Terry Francona, might as well build a condominium behind the pitcher's mound because he's going to be out there a lot tonight. Kyle Crockett. He was up last night a couple of times.
One and 2 the count. Ty was 2 for 3 last night and 2 for 6 lifetime off Cody Anderson. Ty just missing his 39th homer by inches. Just foul. And he is on a 7-game hitting streak.
And hitting .423 over that period.
Out and around that one. Wind blowing just gently right to left. And once again the 2-2. There's a shot. Look at the pick right there by Santana, and that'll retire the side, but not before. Once again, we have a lead. We lead at 2-0.
Kia starting lineup. Rajay Davis leading it off, and it's Jason Kipnis, Lindor, Napoli, Santana, Jose Ramirez, who's been red hot in his 7-game hitting streak. Then Geyer, Crisp, and Perez rounded out. The Honda City defense, and Al Robin puts him out there behind Jose Quintana, Melky, Liuri, and Abasail, and the 2 Garcia outfield. Then it's Frazier, Anderson, Sanchez, and Abreu in the infield, with Alex Avila behind the plate, and our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Jose Quintana. Looking for win number 13 is ERA at just 3.26. He's always done very well against the Indians. 6-3 lifetime with an ERA in the mid-2s, but in this ballpark especially good. His ERA in the 1s at Progressive Field.
Sox nemesis, Rajay Davis, 35-year-old veteran. It's just not right for a 35-year-old veteran to have 40 stolen bases.
So he doesn't have more. He's really aggressive.
He's been an all-star against us. An absolute all-star in every uniform he's had. Been a few. Boy, a lot of those 23 RBIs beat us.
And a .298 career batting average.
Well, it just seems like Dyson from Kansas City and Rajay Davis, the 2 guys we just can't throw out.
Not a whole lot of people can.
No.
And Dyson, unlike Terrence Gore, Dyson can hit a little bit to go with it.
And Rajay 40 for 46 in stolen bases. He's 35 for 42 against us in stolen bases in his career. He gone.
This time he just gets outguessed. He's looking for something inside. He was probably looking for a cutter. He got a fastball and he just took it.
And here's another Sox nemesis, Jason Kipnis.
He's especially good at U.S. Cellular Field in front of the home folks.
Comes in at 277, 23 homers, 80 knocked in. All the way up and down this lineup, they've got some guys who, again, it's not so much what they hit, it was when they hit it. A lot of good clutch hitting going on from the Indians.
Career against Quintana. Not many left-handers have those kind of numbers against Jose lifetime.
And there's the base hit. What new?
He's at 305 against our Sox in Chicago. And here he gets a fastball on the inside part of the plate. And does a nice job of not opening up too quickly, driving it into right field. And Kipnis can steal a base. But against the left-hander, you can probably neutralize that running game a bit.
14 for 17 in that category. And here is Francisco Lindor, who's going to be a Sox nemesis for a long time. Takes first pitch strike.
They both came into this series. Both Napoli and Lindor came in on long offers. Napoli broke out of it last night. Lindor still looking to break out of it.
Yeah, he was 0 for 3 last night, but he knocked in a run.
Terry Francona, knowing that Lindor being a very young player, probably worn down somewhat. The weather just this series has started to get cooler in Cleveland, but it's still a long year.
There he goes.
He got a good jump. He was going on first move, and he never even looked back for contact. Stolen base number 129 for the Indians. They've only been thrown out 29 times, so they've been terribly aggressive.
Three and one. Well, anytime you're 100 over in stolen bases,
you're doing pretty well.
But of course, you know, sabermetrics doesn't like that.
No, for the most part, they say don't steal them, but Terry Francona knows that.
He knows that where they can put sabermetrics.
Yeah, I mean, the running game is part of his offense because, you know, this is a team, they'll hit the ball out of the ballpark. They've hit 181 home runs, so it's not like they don't have power in this team, because they do. It's just that they're going to score a lot of runs and they're going to run themselves into a lot of runs.
Well, they're also going to make a lot of plays because stolen bases equate to speed. When you get a team, you're going to build a team where you're not going to steal bases. That means you're not necessarily looking for speed, and your range is limited. Name of the game is putting pressure on the other team, putting pressure on the pitcher. If you can do that, you get an edge.
Sanchez now coming in. He wants a word with Jose. He wants to know exactly where they're going to pitch to Napoli. And with that in mind, Alex Avila is coming out. He wants a word also. Napoli's got the uppercut swing of a home run hitter. He's got, I won't say surprising speed, but he steals a base on occasion, not too often.
But you get it to him and he will.
Yeah, he's only grounded into 13 double plays. And for a guy that's been the bat 538 times without great speed, that's a low number.
Kept his hands back nicely on that take. Well, it's not done on a scale of 1 to 10. It's probably a 1 today compared to maybe a 7 in years past with pitchers, maybe 6. A lot of pitchers in years past did not look at the catcher's mitt. They pitched to the hitter and they watched his reaction, and that set up the next pitch for him. And the reason I mentioned that he kept his hands back, the great Hall of Famer Don Drysdale would watch where those hands went if they were taking a pitch. If they kept them back, then he was going to pitch them away. If they were moving forward, he was just going to get in off the plate because they couldn't do anything with it.
I never used to look at the glove because I threw a lot of breaking balls. If you look at the glove,
well, there you go.
It doesn't help your release point, because what I wanted to do, you being a right-hand hitter, I wanted to throw it just behind your left shoulder. That was my release point. So I looked at that. If I could throw my curveball behind your left shoulder, I knew that it was going to break where I wanted it to break. If I look at the glove, I'm not going to throw a strike very often.
Yeah. Well, you're out that 7 in that 7 ball. And most, I'll tell you what, just put it blankly, I would say more than 50% of the real good pitchers do what you did.
Yeah, let me throw it. You threw it. You threw one of the shin guards, for instance. You wanted to pitch inside, you throw at the catcher's left shin guard. Even if he decided that maybe he wanted the ball on the outer third, you'd still look. That's where you'd want to throw it. And as far as hitting the glove is concerned, I felt that was a suggestion by the catcher as opposed to this where I want you to throw it exactly.
Well, that's exactly what Drysdale, that was the phrase he used to use. He said, look, I just let the catcher suggest a sign, and then I let him suggest a location. And if I didn't like it, I don't care if he liked it or not, because I'm the one that's throwing the ball.
What I always said was, as soon as you can show me the column that said losing catcher, I will let the catcher call the game. But the column is losing pitcher.
It's not taught anymore. It's taught to focus in on the mitt. He did not go.
Slow breaking ball inside, and for Napoli, a good check. They wanted the appeal, Alex did, but that never came off his shoulder.
One on one. Check that. 2 on 1 out.
Be a big gamble to run because Napoli is fanned 189 times. And the last thing you want to do with Santana coming up is to strike him out, throw him out.
And the payoff. That'll load him up. Last time out, Quintana, well, had a rough outing. He's worked almost 200 innings this year. And Steve, you also, when you factor in the number of innings, you also have to factor in how hard were most of those innings.
Number of pitches under duress. And if you don't have a really strong offense where you're in a lot of games where you're 5, 6, 7 runs up, if you're always 1 run up, 1 run down, they're pitches under duress, and those pitches are much more tiring than the guys doing what Trevor Bauer did late in the game last night. He had a big lead, he was just coasting.
A lot of times they're very misleading, the number of innings, because if you take those 196 for Quintana, the year he's had since he's been in a White Sox uniform, you can probably add another 20 or 30 innings on that because of throwing pitches under duress. Lack of offense, lack of defense. And we know how many jams he's had to pitch out of.
Career with the bases loaded been really good for Carlos Santana, who's a switch hitter. He got much more power from the left side. A little better hitter as a right-hand hitter.
Big gap out there in right center. Santana 3 for 4 last night. 8 for 35 with a homer lifetime off Jose. One out, 1-1 to count. We lead it 2-0 here in the bottom of the first inning if you're just tuning in.
He does not have a good release point on the inside fastball. When you're ahead of hitters, you can throw it in there a couple inches off the plate and force a swing. When you're even or behind hitters, they're just going to look at that inside pitch, as the Indians have been doing early in this game.
All right. Rack him up. And once again, Jose Quintana pitches out of a jam. For Game 3 against the Cowboys with Chris Bowden, Lance Briggs, Alex Brown, and Jim Miller on Bears pregame live. Then join the guys afterwards for Bears postgame live beginning tomorrow night at 6:30 right here on CSN.
Terry Francona is not going to allow Cody Anderson to get in too many problems here in the second inning, already trailing 2-0. He's got the bullpen up and going, and he's got both a left and a right hander. Jeff Manship, the right hander. Kyle Crockett, the left hander. Crockett's been up a lot.
Avi at 248, 12 homers. He's driven in 50. Takes first pitch strike. We talked about some really good at-bats that he's been having, especially on this road trip and prior to it on that last homestand. Now Frazier was the second nobody out. He's trying to get him over.
He knew he got it to the right side. That's about all he knew. When he realized it wasn't coming down, he went into the trot.
Checks it up.
They've been working with Anderson a lot. His father is in the lumber business, and he got really big, really strong, and they thought maybe a little too bound up to be a pitcher. So they were working on his flexibility. He's out at Goodyear a lot. That's where the spring training home is. And he's actually increased his velocity as that musculature that he had is
more
giving way to flexibility. I mean, for a pitcher, you've got to be flexible.
You got to have some tone. You got to have some muscle tone, and that's these strength and conditioning coaches today, like ours, Alan Thomas, AT. He can take guys like a Cody Anderson who bound up, and first thing you know, well, he's got them. I'm not saying lethal, but I'm saying they're not as big. They have better muscle tone, and their muscles are longer.
And he's going to be a starting pitcher, but they just don't have time this year to stretch him out. So that's one of the reasons why he's in the bullpen.
Got him. Well, when I first came to the big leagues, there was a $1,000 fine for pitchers to lift weights.
Well, in those days, in the time that I got to the big leagues, which was a little bit after you, it was the same thing. They would allow their outfielders, infielders to touch weights, but not their pitchers.
Well, that came later, the outfielders and infielders, because they didn't want anybody lifting weights because you didn't know what you were doing. You're just billing bulk. So here is Avila. Takes first pitch strike. Alex hitting at 229, 7 homers, 11 driven in.
The shift is on, but somewhat surprisingly, Rajay Davis is playing a couple of steps toward right center. I say surprisingly because the infield, as they shift on him, is always the same. 3 guys on the right side, but the outfield many times playing him to hit the ball to left center field.
Yeah, the Indians trying to take their magic number down to 1 with a win here tonight.
Terry Francona became available. The Indians knew who they wanted. They went out and got him. Terry Francona's done a great job with this team. See the 4th year, you see those numbers at 348 and 290. It's not a team that can go out and make many, if any, mistakes on big money free agents.
He knew it. 2 down.
Anderson, as a starter this year, had an ERA up over 7. They sent him down. He had a tender elbow. He came back. When they brought him back in September, he threw 7 1/3 scoreless innings out of the bullpen. Now he's getting that opportunity again. Gave up a couple runs early, but struck out 3 of the last 4 men.
Yeah, if you get the right guy, if you get the right manager, and you pay him well, which you're going to have to if you get the right guy, that's the cheapest money you can spend.
There is no doubt. And Terry had, I mean, he came over with a reputation of being a couple different things. Number one, he gives his players the responsibility. And 2, he came over as a winning manager and won a couple of World Series with Boston. Can't ask for much more than that. And he met with 4 of the key guys on this team. Guys like Kipnis, who are going to be here for a long period of time, Brantley. And he said to him, I'm going to let you write down exactly how you want the Cleveland Indians to play. And then I want you to talk to your teammates about exactly what the Cleveland Indians are going to be, because it's your guys' team. I'm here as a manager, but it's your team. And they were the key guys on the team, and the first thing he wanted to do was get them to buy into the team philosophy. And the Indians have been that. I mean, under Terry, they have been a completely different ball club and organization.
That ball is into the gap by Carlos. Tommy Sheridan and his crew, they're picked to click with a 2-out double. Well, the more you get them involved, and I think the right adjective is accountability. Give them accountability. I think players respond tremendously to accountability. That's one reason that, you know, it's the culture of the game today is different. The hitters' meetings are different. They tell you what you can't do to a hitter. They tell you how to pitch him, rather than, you know, in years past, that ball gets away. So Sanchez into third. Pitchers got up in that hitters meeting and told the entire team how they were going to get them out. That's accountability. Giving them the accountability. How are you going to get out Mickey Mantle? How are you going to get out Roger Maris? How are you going to get out Willie Mays? If you go over those guys, Mantle and Maris and Mays, you're going to say you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't pitch him here, you can't pitch him there. Now where you left to pitch him? So the pass ball. Knowing you, and not saying actually you pitched that much, except, you know, and especially in the 1980 All-Star game with video, but I'll guarantee you, regardless of what they said, you knew how you were going to pitch guys.
Well, I always felt, look, I felt, and this was of critical importance, I think a pitcher has to go to his strength before he goes to the hitter's weakness, because if the hitter's weakness is your weakness, you're not doing yourself any favors by going there.
Leary hits it hard, but Rajay Davis stayed with it. That's a tough play right over his head. Meanwhile, that'll be turned to the side. It's still 2-0 White Sox.
forward to Miller time later in the game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
Bottom of the second inning. Quintana threw a lot of pitches in the first inning.
Well, he certainly needed that double play off the bat of Santana. After walking a couple in the first inning, he came away without giving up any runs. After a base hit and 2 walks, that's a good job.
So here is a guy who has really been a hot hand for him all season long. Ramirez comes in hitting at .315, 11 homers, but he's knocked in 75 in a 7-game hitting streak. 2 for 5 last night with a homer and 4 RBIs. And as we talked about, he and Lindor for the first month and a half carried this club offensively.
And at home here at Progressive Field, that's what Ramirez has done. .348. Yikes.
And there's a solid single to left field. 8-game hitting streak.
Well, talking with some of the Indians about the Detroit series they just played, Brad Ausmus, in a key situation, decided to walk Napoli to get to Ramirez. And they said, almost to a man, the team was very happy because Ramirez has been their best clutch hitter all year long. Yep. And Ramirez went and burned him. Well, after hitting .219 last year, if you're going to win, and the Indians are going to win, you got to have somebody like that jump up and have by far his career year for it. You got to have a couple of those, and a surprise from the minor leagues.
That's yanked foul. Brandon Guyer 5 for 15 with a home run against Quintana. Well, good managers will tell you. I'll never forget a conversation I had with a real good manager, Alvin Dark. I went into his office when I was here in Cleveland. He was managing us, and we were really going bad. We were struggling, and there was a situation that came up that really upset me, and I had to get it off my chest. I went into his office, I closed the door, and I told him what I thought. And he looked at me, took his hat off, waved his hand over his hair, put his hat back on, and said, "Kenneth, let me tell you something." He said, "Managers are no different from players. You have good years and you have bad years. And you're right, I'm having a bad year."
At least he admitted it.
That's what I'm saying. Good managers will admit it. You think a manager has, managers don't have a good year every year. They make mistakes. God, manager tells you he hadn't had a bad year, never has had a bad year. You don't want him around.
No, because most managers, although they've got the numbers in front of them, and we know they're inundated with numbers, they still have to go with gut instinct on occasion. And that was a hit and run. Guyer, who's made a career on hitting left-handers. In fact, he was at Tampa Bay, and the Indians wanted another guy who could drive in some runs, and he's been a specialist against left-hand pitchers. So you take a look at 22 for 29. Not the best percentage, but certainly good enough.
Outfield to the right. Nice gap out there in left center.
Indians thought they had Lou Croy. He went to the Texas Rangers. He's tearing it up for them. But when they couldn't get him, they went and got Guyer. And Guyer, although not Lou Croy, against the left-handers, has been very good.
Now we talk about the players that they have good they're getting, how much better they're getting. Bigger, stronger, faster. And then all of a sudden you get into the subject of managers. That's out of play. Souvenir right side. You got managers who, our superstars back in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, they would have been superstars today. They would have been superstars 100 years from now. That's how good they were.
Yep.
Some of our great managers from yesteryear could not manage today. Could not manage.
Well, that's in dealing with the players. That's not the X's and O's, because they could always do the X's and O's.
That's exactly right. They could not manage today. That in-your-face style, which was prevalent back in those days, no longer exists.
Geyer this year's hit .328 against the left-handers.
There he goes. And there's a sharp single that Melky gets to the hole. Ramirez. So here we go again. More trouble.
The White Sox Back to Class Pass is available now, and for just $25 you can attend all 7 games during the final regular season homestand. Visit whitesox.com/pass for more information or to order yours today. And that's 4 with Tampa Bay and 3 with the Twins. 7-game homestand to end this season. Now Frazier coming on. He's going to give signs to the rest of the infield, but they verbally tell the pitcher if they want him to charge straight ahead, if they want him to charge toward the line because they're going to hang back, if the shortstop is going to cover third as they charge, which means the pitcher is going to have to break straight in. They don't leave it to chance with the pitcher. The rest of the infield gets the signs.
Coco 3 for 4 last night with 3 RBIs, and he takes first pitch strike. Well, the wheel play is, I've seen it once this year.
Yeah, they're not doing that at all. You talk about with the shortstop covering third,
yeah,
third baseman charging, or sometimes with the shortstop starting to break the third, they'll slide the second baseman in behind the runner.
Count evens at 1. The wheel play can be a very effective tool.
You find a lot of teams not wanting to throw the ball around the infield very much, but if you decide you want to play the first baseman for a hitter, a pitcher or 2 behind the guy at first, the pickoff play with the trailing runner is very effective. In this situation, Jose is playing. Now he's moving behind Geyer. It's up to the first base coach to let Geyer know that you better get back.
Coco with a healthy rip at that one. And the count 2-2. Shanks that one. That can be really interesting, as we've discussed ever since he's been in the White Sox uniform, to see if Jose, how it would be if he worked faster when he got out of the stretch.
He works twice as fast with nobody on than he does when he goes into the stretch. That was 30 seconds the last pitch between pitches.
And that'll load him up with nobody out. That's the third walk already issued by Jose.
Well, Roberto Perez, as you would expect, doesn't have a whole lot of speed. But he does have a little power. He hits the ball hard. 170 batting average. Hit a couple of home runs, driven in 15. And the outfield playing him as an off-field hitter. Leary Garcia a couple of steps into right center. Avi now moving back in right, which is a good plan.
Ate him up, and it's going to be back into the seats.
Going to need a new bat. I want to know what he rubbed on the bat. That's almost a clear. It looks reddish. It's pine tar. But it's not like the dark pine tar that guys used to use a lot of. It's almost a clear pine tar.
Well, as long as it's sticky.
As long as it's sticky. And sometimes, I know this surprises you, but pitchers will use that.
Oh, really? That's cheating.
It is. You're right. It's a foreign substance on the ball. And most guys would never stoop to that.
White Sox had a pitcher back in the 60s. That was his nickname, Pine Tar.
Yeah, I was going to say, it does tighten up the breaking ball a touch for you.
Ray Herbert. You can see the ball come up that Pine Tar and just sinking. He was a good pitcher, though. Two and one. Big gap in left center.
Nobody out here in the second, and 45 pitches already for Q.
Two and two.
Jose has not thrown a strike in this at bat, and the count is even.
He gone. One out.
Looked like he got just a little bit of the baseball, but it stuck in the glove of Alex. And Jim Wolf said yes, he did get a piece of it, but he's out.
Well, here's trouble. Struck out, though, last inning, leading off the bottom of the first. Rajai Davis called out. Got caught guessing wrong.
Davis originally came up with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Got to the big leagues a couple of different times in 06 and 07, but didn't play a whole lot. Then went to San Francisco, Oakland, Toronto, before going to Detroit for a couple of years. Now finds himself with the Cleveland Indians.
He falls behind him 2-0.
Well, normally The inside corner to a right-hand hitter is the strength of Jose Quintana. Tonight, he's just not able to throw a strike in there. Chris Beck loosening in the pen. 50 pitches for Jose.
Well, and Chris Sale's last outing the other day in Philadelphia, it looked like he was tired.
Yep,
it looks like Quintana was tired. Yep. Here it is, September 24th. Chris over 200 innings. Quintana, as we talked about.
Knocking at the door, yeah.
And there's a base hit. And they're going to hold the runner now. They got to play at second base. All right. Timmy will chase it down. And it's a 2-1 ball game.
Well, it all started because Geyer slipped around third base. Like Sarbaugh, the third base coach, held him up, and Geyer wasn't looking at the signal right away. By the time he figured it out, his feet went out from under him, and that's when things started to deteriorate. So Avi gets to the ball quickly, gets it back in, and Jose taking a look. Coco Crisp, he was looking at Geyer. When Geyer started to go, Coco went. Geyer held up. Coco was hung out to dry, and it started with a slip at third base. Well, you got to pick up that third base coach.
In that situation, you should know that Bobby Garcia is one of the better throwers, and he's very accurate from right field in the American League. I mean, you should know that. But if you didn't check and see where they were playing, that ball was hit right at him. So we catch a break there. And here's Kipnis. He singled last inning. There he goes.
It looks like Alex was thinking about throwing it. It's a good thing he didn't, because you weren't going to get him anyway. He took off with first move. He just off to the races. He looks back, see if there's contact, and then realizing there's not going to be a throw.
Well, that's a blue plate special for Rajay Davis when you got a man on third and he's at first.
Yeah, it would take, well, it takes a rocket for an arm, and usually you're not going to get him anyway.
Breaking ball strike.
So we'll take a look at Geyer. Feet go out from under him, and they get Crisp.
And that'll retire the side. They pick up a run, and we still lead it 2-1. days, all season long on CSNChicago.com. Presented by The Great Escape. Pools, patio furniture, hot tubs, and more. Escape your everyday shop. Shop The Great Escape.
You got the first of what is going to be many pitchers coming out of the bullpen tonight, and it's Jeff Manship. On for the 51st time. He's 2-1. He's done a very good job out of the pen. ERA 3.35. You might remember him with the Minnesota Twins. He spent a long time with them. Their biggest surprise out of the bullpen, Dan Otero. 59 appearances, a 1.49 ERA, and we'll probably see him later on.
Here's Tim Anderson, stangled and scored back in the first inning. Well, if they had a magic number of 4 or 5, maybe 6, I don't think he'd be seeing this formula that he's running out there tonight.
No, he doesn't want to. He's got 13 relievers,
and he would have more coming up
if he could.
That's right.
Yeah. He'd be more than happy to have more relievers.
But the magic number, in case you're just tuning in, for the Indians, if they win this ball game tonight, will be 1.
And we wouldn't see these bullpen games in a pennant race, except they lost Salazar and Carrasco, 2 of their mainstays, 40% of their starting rotation lost for the season, necessitating this.
Santana, 1 out.
Nice play by Santana, who's made a couple of good plays tonight. He started out as a catcher, then moved to third. Now he's mostly a DH, but will play first base for him, and made a good play. Also made a good play on Frazier in the first inning.
Santana's a good baseball player.
He is that, and he will take a walk, and that's one of the reasons why you get a guy hitting 30+ home runs and leading off for Terry Francona most of the time. He's not there tonight, but 34 home runs, 83 driven in, and primarily as a leadoff hitter.
Well, if you look at this Cleveland lineup, they've got actually some of the best balance. Not Toronto's sluggers and Baltimore's sluggers, but balance-wise, they've got some of the best balance in the league.
Well, it helps. I mean, in your starting lineup tonight, you got 4 switch hitters.
Tremendous balance in there. Yeah, when you got 4 switch hitters in your lineup, it's Lindor, very quick release, 2 down. Melky now 1 for 2 with an RBI double and a run scored back in the first. But when you got 4, Lindor, Santana, Ramirez, and Coco, 3 of those 4 are really good.
Yeah.
When you got that, you got some balance in there.
You got that. You got Kipnis, who's not intimidated by left-hand pitching, so he's going to be in there just about every day.
You know, it's a very underrated offense. Well, they've got 181 home runs. They're hitting 264 as the team coming in,
and leading the league in stolen bases
by 100 over their throwouts.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
And I hated, as you did, you hate to see anybody go down, but when you've got Salazar and Carrasco, 2 of the better right-handers in the American League, both go down, that's sad. I mean, it really is.
Salazar was out here throwing before the game yesterday and today. They don't know if he's going to be able to come back for the playoffs at all. They're pretty well assured it would have to be out of the bullpen if in fact he does come back at all. Carrasco, they know with the broken hand, he's going to be lost for this season.
Here's Abreu. He had an RBI single, shoved it into right field, and there's a single, hard single into center. Well, that ball was tattooed.
Jose wants to get to 300. Got a very good chance at that. He's 3 away from 100 runs driven in. It's going to be a little tougher for him to get the 30 home runs unless he really has a very hot homestand.
He's got Tampa Bay for 4 and Minnesota for 3. And since we are not involved and are going to be in postseason play, it'll be interesting to see what kind of pitching they run out there. If they're going to run some youngsters out there, just to look at them, that could factor in very much as far as him and Todd Frazier trying to achieve their goals. Nice pick by Santana. We go to the bottom of the third, leading 2-1. Chicago think E-Click Lending. Whether looking to purchase or refi, never pay lender's fees with E-Click Lending. Visit us online at eclicklending.com to lock in your low rate today. E-Click Lending, point, click, and save.
Jose would dearly love to have a low pitch inning, especially if he wants to go deep into this one. He's got a 1-run lead. He's pitched out of a couple of terrible jams, but he's gotten out, given up just 1 run.
Well, we know that's one of the most impressive things he has shown us since he's been in a White Sox uniform.
That was one of the most amazing things, starting with that game against the Yankees we saw in New York. Seemingly impervious to pressure.
Well, his whole rise to prominence, so to speak, is being acknowledged as one of the best left-handers in the game. Started right here in this ballpark in a relief outing. Came in, did a great job, and the next time he went out there was against these Indians at our place and did another great job, and all of a sudden from there he just took off.
The American League, a lifetime 3.42 ERA as a starting pitcher is awfully good.
Pops it up. Anderson making the call. Has the ball.
Join us for the White Sox Bags Tournament on October 1st at U.S. Cellular Field. Grab a partner. Come out to our tournament and see if you can win the tournament and take home a cash prize. For more information, visit whitesox.com/bags.
And for all Sox fans out there who are fairly new, as good a competitor as Quintana is, he is one of the sweetest human beings you'll ever meet. What a sweet person.
Well, if this one's in the neighborhood, you're going to see a good, healthy cut. The man has hit 34 of them already. It's hard to believe he's never driven in 100 until this year.
That's a great feeling. Boy, he was so happy when he got to first base. He just absolutely almost knocked Sandy Alomar's hand off. First time you're driving 100. There's that top hand we were talking about earlier. He's got some of the best top hand. He top hand wise, he's not quite as good as Ryan Dozier, but he's close.
Well, there's another guy that's had just a remarkable year, Ryan Dozier.
Well, for the most part, as you know, show me a guy with a good top hand, and I'll show you a guy who's dangerous. Here's that top hand right here.
Look at that leg kick also.
Well, he's learned how to get to hang time. Look at that hand. High pop up. Tied. 2 down. So here's Santana. Santana hit the ball hard back in the first inning into a 6-4-3 double play. Two 5-0 for our guys, 1-4-0 for their guys. You're in the bottom of the third inning. And not a bad crowd on hand. Not a bad crowd at all. But overall, they're only averaging 19,436. Yeah, this club right here has got a lot of Kansas City in it.
Last 5 games, unbelievable for Santana.
That's yank foul. Had a call today from a writer. We were talking, and he heard my comment the other day about, I think that Kansas City is the model that most clubs should follow. And he asked me why. And I said, well, really, it's not very complicated. It's pretty simple. Nathan Moore has put Ned Yost in position for the last few years to manage a 5- and 6-inning ball game. Managers, good managers, don't want to manage. Because, like, you're a good golfer, okay? Anytime you put that 60-degree wedge in your hand, you got a problem.
Well, yes, that's why I leave it in the car.
Well,
that's a tremendous problem.
No, you're in trouble usually. Is Sanchez makes that catch, and that'll retire us that. So a nice 1-2-3 inning, and he leads it 2-1. tomorrow. Final road game of the season right here, 12:10 WGN. And Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, the Rays in town, followed by the Twins on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And this season will be over.
It's always hard to believe when you look back at how quick it went, as opposed to spring training when you're looking forward and you're seeing those 6 panels, the 6 months of the year. I say, boy, a lot of trip to the West Coast, very few off days. Boy, it's going to be a long year. And then suddenly you find yourself, you're in middle, end of September, and you're wondering where all the time went.
Here's Todd, hit a hot shot. Santana made a good play. Well, I think we all figured going into the season before the first pitch was thrown out in Oakland, with only one day in April, we had a problem. And as it turned out, we did not have a problem in April. We started off season 23-10 as he got him. 1 out. But we certainly had a problem in May. And because of April.
When you had the best year of your career, 1968, as you were going through it, did you feel like it was flying by, that you never wanted it to end? You just wanted to prolong that feeling that you had?
Yeah, well, that was an unusual season. I mean, it really was. I did not hit a home run in April. There is a chopper and it's foul.
That was a nice play and all, but it's not a fair ball.
Right. So that was an unusual situation. That was a terrible cold weather hitter. And I only hit 1 home run in September. And yet I wound up with 35.
I would say you had a pretty good 4 in the middle.
Yeah. So you're right, though. In those May, June, July, and August, I didn't want them to end. Just did not want them to end. And then you get into September, and all of a sudden here comes the cold weather again. You know, Boston.
But I remember broadcasting Rick Sutcliffe's games, and he won the Cy Young Award in 1984. And in spring training '85, he took me to dinner and he said, I want you to tell me what it's like the year after you win the Cy Young Award. And I said, the toughest part about it is all that momentum, all those wins, all those good games you pitched, they're all wiped off the board. You're starting again 0-0, and you're going to have to try to get that same feeling, that same momentum, that same feeling of invincibility you had last season. It's not an easy thing to do. Now, Rick was a terrific pitcher.
Oh, yeah. And
he came second to the Cy Young Award in '89. It wasn't a good year for him. He got hurt in '85.
2 down. Yeah, you're right. You know, the one thing that it does when you have a big year like you had and a big year like I had, that you go into the next season, and I had my goals set. Jackie Moore was one of our coaches, and he used to throw BP to me. And so manship will depart, and we'll be back.
left-hander who's spent a lot of time warming up in the bullpen the last game and a half. Kyle Crockett is on for the 29th time. His ERA is up over 5. He's brought in to face Alex Avila, who was a strikeout victim looking back in the 2nd inning. So Crockett, the third of what will be many Indians pitchers tonight.
So here's Avila. Two 5-0 for us, 1-4-0 for them.
Crockett out of the University of Virginia, twice was named Virginia High School's Baseball Player of the Year. That's pretty impressive.
Avila struck out his first trip. There's a strike to even the count at 1.
Where an 88-mile-an-hour fastball can look like 98. You throw it above the hands, left-hander to left-hander, and you can't catch up to it up there.
Yes, he did. So they strike out the side. And we'll go to the bottom of the 4th, leading by 1.
Kraus Cable in Manhattan, Illinois.
We scored 2 runs in the 1st inning. They scored 1 in the 2nd. And Quintana last inning had a 1-2-3. Outside of that, in the first 2 innings, threw a lot of pitches.
The Indians had huge opportunities to score a whole lot. Jose Quintana made some good pitches. Got out of the first with a double play. Got out of the second largely because of base running blunder. And then a very easy 1-2-3 third on 3 pop-ups.
Here's Ramirez. He singled and scored.
Well, since July 26th, an arbitrary date, Mookie Betts and Jose Ramirez with 80 hits. Brian Dozier at 76 with a whole lot of power, and Jose Abreu at 74.
2-1. The count. Timmy's got him.
Join us as our Sox face the Tampa Bay Rays on Thursday, September 29th at 7:10. The first 10,000 fans to enter U.S. Cellular Field will receive a White Sox performance T-shirt. For tickets, visit whitesox.com/Thursdays.
Brandon Geyer takes ball 1. He ripped a single in the hole between third and short. Rips that one by Frazier. On his way to second. Here's the throw. Ball gets away. Now he's going to go to third.
Carlos Sanchez tried a quick tag. You're trying to swipe the baseball and try to get it down for the tag as quickly as possible. Nothing doing on the backhand for Todd Frazier. So it looks like double. Probably E7.
And the infield comes in. Yeah. That was not a good play by Cardinals.
Nope. Double E4.
That's the 17th double. Well, it's pretty evident that Geyer sees content very well. He is now 7 for 17 against him. Coco drew a walk his first trip.
Infield in all 4 positions, which is just a wonderful way to get an at bat.
Well, it changes, or it should change your thinking a little bit. That is popped up. Now Sanchez stays with it, makes the catch for out number 1. Check that out, number 2. Ramirez grounded to short, the double, and now the pop up. And here's Perez. Struck out swinging on a fastball. Big gap out there in left center. Watch out.
Perez broke another bat. Well, you're talking the difference in this day and age with hitters and the bats they use, the maple bats. Nelson Cruz hit a home run 493 feet tonight and broke his bat in the process of doing that.
I believe you, but it's hard to believe.
He did it in Minnesota. 493 feet.
Well, Nelson can hit it as far as anybody, but not with a broken bat. Well, you know, the maple bats are unique in that respect. I've seen the big hurt Frank Thomas. I remember a home run he hit in our place, 3/4 of the way up the left center field, deep left center field bleachers, and the bat exploded. I mean, he hit it, the bat exploded, and the ball went 3/4 way up those bleachers. He did that on several occasions. Dead centered it, and the bat just exploded. He overpowered the wood in the bat.
Well, I'll assume that it was maple bats each time.
Oh yeah, yeah. You're not going to do that with ash. You can break them. You can hit them on the fist. You can hit them on the end to break them, but you're not going to dead center them and break them. Jose will take it himself. So he pitches out of a bit of a jam right there.
Your culture with Hispanic Heritage Night on September 30th, presented by Miller Lite. There's going to be Latin music and dancing, special activities for kids, an on-the-field parade, and a post-game fireworks show. It's not just a good time, it's Miller time. Miller Lite, official beer of our Chicago White Sox. Tickets start as low as $10. Visit whitesox.com/NHH. And we've got a new pitcher coming in, Percy Garner. On for the 7th time. ERA at 3.68. He's got really good stuff. 9 strikeouts in 7 in the 3rd innings, but control has been somewhat of a factor, and left-handers have hurt him. You'll see by the motion that left-handers see the ball pretty well against him.
So here is Carlos. He doubled into left center field. That was with 2 out in the 2nd inning. Our guys on top 2-1.
Garner was an excellent football player, and that for a while looked like it was going to be his sport. From Dover, Ohio, 75 miles south of here.
That's gotten to the point now that if you're a good football player, and certainly in certain positions, obviously quarterback, and then watch out. It's gotten to the point now that football is like baseball. Baseball, if you don't have a good bullpen, you're going to lose. In football, if you don't have good D-backs, you're going to lose. Those guys are making a lot of money. Back when I signed in '59, there was no money in football or basketball. He catches it in foul ground. There's Coco. You got some less than outstanding quarterbacks. I'm not going to call them mediocre, but a little better than mediocre. Making $15-20 million a year.
Well, one of the reasons, if you can stay on your feet, if you can stay healthy, you make a whole lot of money, because we've seen, well, look at New England. They're looking for their fourth string quarterback now.
Yeah.
These guys are so big, so strong, and so fast. And it's hard to stay upright.
Attaboy. Uri just drills it right back through the middle. Played a lot of golf with Marino and Elway. It's just amazing how big those guys are. Uri, 1 for 2. He's hit the ball hard twice. And here's Tim. He's 1 for 2, and he's hit the ball hard twice. Dustin Pedroia, grand slam. Red Sox leading 6-3 in that ball game.
That's Rick Porcello looking for win number 22. I'm not sure if Tim Anderson could have looked ahead in spring training and realized that not only would he be in the major leagues, but he would get over 400 at bats. But that's what's going to happen this year.
There he goes. A lot of stolen bases, and that throws on the third base side of second. That's his second 3 attempts.
As a fine manager and longtime major league catcher, Mike Scioscia told me there's no outs on the third base side of second. So if you're going to miss on the first base side of second.
Yeah. A lot of stolen bases over there.
Yep. And the E2 to go with it.
That's just Perez's second error.
It'll bring the infield in at all 4 positions.
And a 2-1 count to Tim. Well, Tim is, we talked about, one of the best position players that we have signed, played, and brought up in a long time.
He is that.
He is
homegrown. Looks to be getting better.
Two down.
Sean Armstrong getting loosened up.
So here's Melky. Melky an RBI double and a run scored in the first. He also is grounded to short.
Golden opportunity to add to that lead. As Garner has his problems with lefties.
And there's a base hit. And we're going to lead it 3-1. Attaboy, Melky. Melky hit that left field fence down there hard last night. I saw him after the game. He had ice on his back. I asked him if he's okay, and he said, yeah. He got him a little bit higher, just above the buttocks. As Tom Hanks would say.
Pretty effective swing for Melky, who's driven in a couple. Melky now has 80 runs driven in. Well, it's going to be just a really good year for him. Has been a good year, a consistent year.
Forrest Gump.
That was quite a movie.
Oh, wasn't that beautiful?
Quite a movie.
Brady was 2 for 2 with an RBI. We used to have spring training in Sarasota. So I went into a restaurant there one morning to get some breakfast. And they set me in a booth. And I looked up on the wall. It was a picture of Tom Hanks on the wall. And on the bottom I read the little paragraph they had there about him that in 19 so and so he waited tables in that restaurant. He was like a busboy and a bit of a waiter.
Well, that's also the home of the Circus Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah. I love Sarasota. It was a beautiful place.
And that was the first time that I had a spring training in Florida when I got traded over to the White Sox from the Giants in 1973, and I was just amazed at how beautiful Sarasota was, how beautiful the beaches were.
Oh yeah.
That was a great place to train in spring training.
Yes, it was. And there's a base hit in the hole. Don't stop now, boys. That's good. Add on.
It's 3 of them for Jose tonight.
But all things considered, I like Arizona better. I never thought I'd say that, but I like Arizona better.
Well, I'm not sure how many of those bus rides you had to take from one side of the Florida coast to the other.
That's the biggest reason.
And there's it was a lot of wasted time. Sometimes you get a 3.5-hour bus ride. You play a night game over, let's say, in Fort Lauderdale or one of the other teams on the East Coast, and you go back to Sarasota, you're getting in 3-4 in the morning. I mean, it's unbelievable.
I'm a firm believer that I don't know how long it's going to be, but pretty soon everybody will be in Arizona. Longest trip we had out there was like out in traffic like 40 minutes.
Yeah, I was going to say 40, 45 minutes. That's about it.
Here's Morneau. Most of them like 20, 25 minutes. You can get so much more work in. You see so many more players.
Well, also now with the dual team facilities where you've got 15 ballparks, you've got one main field and each team has 7 to work out whatever they want to work out. I mean, the facilities are unbelievably good.
Yeah. For years, our White Sox there had one of the worst facilities in Florida. Old Payne Park. Man, you talking about. It was brutal. Backhanded by Lindor. Made it look easy, but the big clutch. 2-run single by Cabrera. We're halfway home, leading 3-1. as we're in the Cleveland half of the 5th inning. Top of the order, Davis, Kipnis, and Lindor to face Jose Quintana, who, if you're just tuning in, first 2 innings had 2 big jams to pitch out of, and he did, giving up just 1 run. Had the bases loaded and 1 out in the first inning and threw a double play ball. As Rajay fakes the bunt, he did not, and the count 1-0.
Appealed to Bill Miller. He said no. Not a bad idea. Davis can bunt it to third base when he has to, but with a left-hander on the mound, the best bunt is pushing it to the right side. You get it by a pitcher who falls off the mound to the third base side, normally it's a base hit.
Good play, took his time.
'85 pitches for Jose at this point. Davis fooled by the velocity, hits it off the end of the bat, and Jose throwing it toward to the second base side of first. Knowing he didn't have much of an angle, made a good solid play.
So here's Kipnis, 1 for 2 with a stolen base. Now has 15 stolen bases on the season. Pops it up, tied.
Join us for Rock and Roll Night and fireworks presented by Guaranteed Rate on Saturday, October 1st, as our Sox take on the Twins at 6:10. First 5,000 fans to enter U.S. Cellular Field will receive a Rock and Roll Night cap. Compliments of Guaranteed Rate. For tickets, visit whitesox.com.
So here's Lindor, a walk and a pop-up to Tim Anderson, his counterpart. First pitch strike.
Indians are trying the best they can to wind up with the best record in the league and secure home field advantage. The problem being that both Boston and Texas hold the advantage because they won the season series over the Indians. It's not going to be enough to tie them the best record.
No.
Texas has 92 wins. The Indians have 90, and Boston looks like they're headed for 91.
Sanchez. 1, 2, 3 inning, and we're into the 6th. Have you subscribed to the brand new CSN Bears Talk podcast yet? Well, you can hear from former Bears Brian Urlacher, Alex Brown, Jim Miller, and more each week for the latest news on your Chicago Bears. Subscribe at csnchicago.com/podcast.
A new pitcher in the ball game, and it is Sean Armstrong, pitcher number 5 for the Tribe. On for the 9th time, ERA 2.35. We have seen him. He's got pretty good stuff, and he has kept the ball in the ballpark.
Nice crowd. 29,354.
This is one of my favorite nights. I like Bark at the Park, but this is dollar hot dog night. Get a couple dozen of those.
He's not kidding either. Hot dogs and hamburgers. He will scarf up. Hot dogs myself.
You got a favorite?
I like Nathan's.
Oh, they're wonderful.
Well, you know, you got when Harris is down in Florida, I fix myself lunch most of the time, and I will have a hot dog. I should say I love hot dogs and I love microwave ovens. Come on, Todd. Start us off right here, buddy. Let's get some more. We lead it 3-1. That's right back over our heads.
Armstrong's getting it up there. Anywhere from 93 to 95.
Full count. That's way back. He looks up and you can put it on the board. Yes.
Well, that one.
A bomb.
That one went a mile. They've got a clock out in left field. That ball went over the clock. Just kept on going. 39, 96, and the power numbers. A Ford home run replay. And this is a blast. A fastball, inner portion. That one just kept on going.
That is one of the longest we have seen hit in this ballpark.
They estimated at 421.
Oh, give me some lumber from that guy.
That one was still rising at 421.
Wow. And of course, with that home run, the great Alex Snellius, another generous donation to White Sox charities in loving memory of Ursula. Over the years, Alex has donated a lot of money to White Sox charities. Bobby, 0 for 2. Yeah, that's. In fact, that might be the longest one we've ever seen hit here. Because that's Santana. 1 out.
To me, just for length alone and the drama in it, that looks to me like it's got to be the pick to click. That is a non-partial description of that home run.
Which one of those is for you? Oh. Yeah, that's really
39 of them.
way back. Alex could not check it up. Alex 0 for 2, a couple of strikeouts. Tomey hit one here out in right center field. It was the longest left-handed home run we've ever seen here out in right center. Then he hit another one day up in those trees out there in dead away center. So for a right-handed hitter, that's the longest one we've seen.
Joseph Cologne throwing in the pen. Here's a look at the man that would be the 6th Indians pitcher of the night.
Count evens at 2. It's full. Carlos on deck. Two down.
Fans, you can experience the Levy Restaurant's fine dining and service while enjoying the First Merit Bank Stadium Club. Memberships are available to season ticket holders. First Merit Bank Stadium Club is also perfect for weddings and corporate parties. For more information, call 312-674-1000.
Boy, those Levy brothers do just a wonderful, wonderful job out there. Food is exquisite. Mark Zucker and his crew, they will take care of you. As here's Sanchez, he's 1 for 2, a double. Hard hit into left center field. His first at bat. Takes a strike.
Trying to hit the outside corner on that slider, but can't quite get it there. In Anderson, Manship, Crockett, Garner, and now Armstrong.
Two and one. Finale tomorrow afternoon. Carlos Rodon against Josh Tomlin. That game will be over WGN, and then afterwards board our charter, come home. Marginal, but it goes Armstrong's way. So 2 and 2. Final homestand of the season. Flips that out there in the left field for a base hit. So Carlos now. He's going to give it a go. And he's safe. So 2 doubles.
Looked like he had a good shot at being thrown out, but Coco Crisp doesn't throw very well.
And so he was gone.
Every chance they get, they're going to run on Coco. This ball came in. Inside out swing. Crisp got a very good chance. But the scout report says every chance you get, run on Coco. And that hits off the glove of Lindor. Otherwise, if he lets it go, they're going to probably get him out.
So here's Leury. So Tommy Sheridan and his crew 2 doubles, 2 for 3.
Yeah, one more double, maybe. Then they're in the conversation. But
No, Senator. Boy, you sound like some of those guys on TV.
well, I mean, look, it's 2 harmless doubles to this point.
Now you really sound like the spin master. Well, those guys can spin it, can't they?
Part of the job.
Yes, it is.
Remind me.
Yes, it is.
Remind me a lot of times at various times in both of our lives, we had the opportunity to purchase a diamond. And the most amazing part about the guys who are selling it is you put one in your hand and one in his hand. He can tell you for 10 minutes why the one in his hand is better than the one in your hand. Now you can change diamonds and he can tell you for another 10 minutes why the one in his hand is better than the one in your hand. That's what you have to do if you're running for office.
Well, they do it. There's a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Here in the top of the 6th. 4-1, 4-10-1 for us, 1-5-1 for them. It's full.
Tim Anderson, who will be looking for his 2nd hit of the night when he gets his opportunity.
Leroy Jazz got a piece of it. Well, he just scalded one to Rajai Davis in center field back in the 2nd inning. And he hit a sharp single up the middle last inning. Report on Adam Eaton. Sore, real sore. And that'll do it. But the long home run by Todd Frazier. I mean, this is a landmarker here, and it's 4-1.
The Chicago White Sox are celebrating the many ways Latinos have put an accent on baseball. So come out and share it with us at hashtag Cohenle Acento, Hispanic Heritage Month.
So here's Mike Napoli. Mike has walked and popped up to Frazier. And he's going to pop up to Abreu.
Carlos was coming over, but he's not quite tall enough yet. Bobby pops him on the head, telling him to stay out of the way of the big man at first.
Usually what they'll do is they'll say, let the sure hands take it.
We'll take a look at it. Jose calling for it.
Jose really good on pop-ups.
He is that. And then he's saying, hey, look, you're not going to get the rebound.
So here's Santana. Hit into a 6-4-3 double play to end the first, and he popped up to Sanchez. Check some finals for you. Minnesota beat Seattle 3-2 at Target Field. Toronto shuts out the Yankees 3-0. Yankees no runs on 3 hits. Three-run homer by Jose Bautista in the 8th inning.
He had a power outage for a while. They can certainly use his home run stroke back.
Oh, it's not going anywhere. He can hit.
He can hit.
There's a poster child for the leg kick right there. Bautista's, that's popped up, Bobby. He was just a regular, so to speak, hitter.
Yeah, the early years of his career. Yeah. Not much.
And all of a sudden he started with that leg kick. And it was history. Here's Ramirez. He's 1 for 2. And has scored the only Cleveland run. That was in the 2nd inning.
I'm wondering what Edwin Encarnacion is going to get on the free agent market. It's going to be a bundle.
Yeah. Texas shuts out Oakland 5-0. St. Louis over the Cubs 10-4. Kansas City with 5 runs in the 9th inning beat the Tigers 7-4.
With 2 outs and 2 runs up, Frankie Rodriguez threw the 4th of 4 changeups to Paulo Orlando.
There's Reyes again. Ramirez again.
His 2nd hit of the night.
45th double.
Absolutely remarkable year for the switch hitter. He's going to probably wind up in the 3 teens somewhere.
Well, you don't see many hitters go this long covering the plate like he's covered. He's going with the pitch. Inside, he pulls it. Down the middle, he hits up the middle. On the outer part, he goes to right field. I mean, you don't see that for an extended period of time. You see it 2 or 3, 4 times throughout the course of the season for short periods of time by hitters.
And last year, Michael Brantley had 45 doubles. That led the American League. If anybody told you that there was going to be an Indian that had 45 doubles this year, you probably would pick Ramirez down near the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
You pick maybe Kipnis. I mean, good speed. He hits the ball hard. Nobody knew that Brantley was going to play just 11 games. But it is Ramirez, 45 doubles. Just a remarkable season.
Geyer been on the plate twice. Hit it hard twice. Once for a single, one for a double. Now 7 for 17 lifetime off Quintana. Got in on him right there.
Brendan Geyer does have another distinction, and that is he very rarely gets out of the way of a pitch. He's been hit 30 times this year. 3-0. Nobody else on this ball club is in double digits in getting hit. That's not a distinction you want.
No. Ate him up right there. A little soft liner. So we're into the 7th, leading by 3.
Of the Cleveland Pensman, Joe Colon on for the 9th time. 1-2 ERA, .587. 7 walks and 7 2/3 usually is not going to get it done for you. So he is the 6th of what will be 8 or 9 Indian pitchers. Some early trouble for Jose Quintana, and since the early trouble, he's been very tough. Since the 2nd inning, he's only given up a couple of doubles.
Top of the order here in the top of the 7th. Tim Anderson, 1 for 3 with a run scored.
Colon was a third baseman initially, and the Indians picked him in the 12th round in 2009. Then they moved him to the mound as a starting pitcher, and now they've moved him to the bullpen.
Well, that fastball at 96. That one at 97 on the gun here at the ballpark. So the count 0-2. One out.
Time now for our Xfinity high-speed action replay. Leury Garcia takes off. Perez throws it into center field. Leury scampers to third base, and then Melky comes up, hits it into left field for his second hit of the night, his second run driven into the night. Xfinity high-speed action replay.
Boy, Melky has had more 2-out base hits to drive in a run than anybody on this team this year.
I think it's been a great year for him. Overall, very consistent.
Yeah, they're. You told me Quintana's going to have a good year. You told me Sale, you knew Sale was going to have a good year. Rodon has pitched well. You just told me that Brady was going to hit 300, driving close to 100, maybe get there.
Todd was going to hit 40
home runs. Yeah. I'd have told you, Stoney, we're in good shape.
Yeah. The parts are good. Somehow the whole didn't work out quite as well.
Yeah, you told me that David was going to have 35 saves. But it just didn't come together.
Looks like it's going to be Tommy Kahnle when the Indians come to bat.
Good rip by Malcolm. Full count. You told me that we were going to lose Austin Jackson and Brett Laurie and Jake Petrichka, and then I would have said, well, maybe not. Two down.
2 up, 2 strikeouts, and a fastball that ranges anywhere from 95 to 97. So it's not difficult to see why they made him a pitcher. It's also not difficult to understand why they took him from a starter and made him a reliever.
Well, that's where teams are going to have to go to get their relievers. Yep. Nobody's going to trade you unless you give away the farm. Nobody's going to trade you any of their good bullpen help. That's why.
One of the guys they have that has been invaluable is Brian Shaw, because nobody has made more relief appearances over the last 4 years than Brian Shaw. Most in the major leagues. Every year it's up over 70 appearances, and his stuff seemingly gets better and better. They're shocked the fact that this year the cutter that he throws for a fastball is averaging in the neighborhood of 95 miles an hour.
Well, as a rule, we got him a couple times this season, but as a rule, he has been double tough against us.
I mean, overall, 3.05 ERA, 73 appearances, and there's a look at one of the more valuable members of this bullpen, especially now they have Andrew Miller to go with Cody Allen.
Abreu 3 for 3 with an RBI.
They got Shaw from the Diamondbacks, and he just takes the ball whenever it's offered to him. Terry Francona is saying that he's actually got to protect him because he wants the ball every day and will never turn it down.
1-2. So Colon strikes out the side. 7th inning stretch. It's 4-1 Sox.
White Sox baseball is with MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. Enjoy live look-ins, highlights, game day, scores, StatCast, live radio broadcasts, and more. Get MLB.com at bat on your favorite devices now. You've got a new pitcher in the ball game, and it is Tommy Kahnle. So Jose Quintana's night is done. He's gone up over 200 innings at 202 innings for the year. Kahnle on for the 26th time. ERA and even 3. He deals with the bottom part of the order before moving to the top here in the bottom half of the 7th inning.
Ball in the right field. That's kind of corner. Coco is retired. He's 0 for 2.
Both bullpens up and going. It's Dan Jennings in our bullpen and Austin Adams in the Indians pen. And pitch last night was a rare tough appearance for him as he threw a 3rd of an inning and gave up 3 runs on 3 hits. Tyler Naquin, rookie, will certainly get some votes for Rookie of the Year, hitting an even 300. But Perez is taken down.
Takes a little high.
Tough thing to do for Naquin is to come off the bench as a pinch hitter. He's 1 for 8, does have a couple of runs driven in as a pinch hitter, but you find your way to the major leagues, you play every day. You're not a pinch hitter. It's not an easy thing to do.
Some guys can't do it.
No, it's really, I mean, hitting off the bench when you don't get steady play, there's an art to it. Some guys never learn it.
Well, the Sox had one a few years back, a good one. Jerry Hairston. Ball hits sharp, sucked up by Sanchez. 2 down. Smokey Burgess wasn't all bad for the Sox either. A little left-handed, rotund. Boy, you tell him to turn a fastball around. Smokey could turn a 30-30 around.
Manny Mota, another one of those guys.
Oh, Manny was
get hit off the bench.
Yeah.
But besides the philosophy that every pinch hitter will tell you, look for the first fastball and try to smoke it, it's just difficult to keep your stroke.
That's why some guys can't DH.
That's another adjustment that never had to be made in the game till 1973.
Yeah, I retired in 71 and 72. The Red Sox called me to come back if that rule was passed, which it was, and then he called me in 73. I told him, I said, I can't DH. I couldn't sit over there, you know, because it never been done.
Guys will tell you now that it's something that takes a whole lot of getting used to. You just can't get your 4 at-bats a game without doing anything in between. And a lot of hitters never adjust to it. Jose had 3 walks early in this and then didn't walk anybody after the 2nd inning as control came to him.
about Chris going over 200 innings? Quintana going over 200? Fouls that back. 1968. Bob Gibson had 330 innings.
Well, there were a lot of guys that would throw over 300 innings in a 4-man rotation.
Marshall had 325. Fergie had 308.
And they weren't worried about pitch counts.
Well, that was the gold standard. That was the norm. That was what they shot. Not norm. That was what they shot for. Was 300 innings. And for some reason, you know, all those guys had long careers. They didn't have any arm problems.
Well, they did have, well, really long careers in many instances. The 4-man rotation was exactly what it was. You got used to it and you didn't think twice about it.
And there is a base hit. Rajay 2 for 4 with an RBI. And a stolen base. And he's going to try and steal one right here. As here comes Robin. Kipnis coming up. So Canely goes 2/3. He'll depart, and we'll be back.
It's a Hyundai call to the pen, and it is Dan Jennings. On for the 62nd time. His ERA, which was under 2 almost his entire season, took a beating last night. It's up to 212, but still just a great year. And as he comes in, Nate Jones starts to loosen up in the pen.
Well, they gave us the wrong attendance earlier. 29,354. Attendance is 32,088. That was 29,354 was the number of hot dogs sold.
To that point, but they're going to go lots of hot dogs tonight.
So here's Kipnis.
See those numbers against Dan Jennings, the reason why Dan is in.
Davis, decent lead. Stole his 41st base back in the second inning. 41 and 47 attempts.
Seattle is battling for a wild card spot, and Minnesota dealt them a crushing blow by defeating them 3-2. Mariners came in 2 games back in the wild card.
Well, last year there were 4 teams that were highly touted coming out of spring training, and a lot of people picked them to win their division. Seattle was one of those.
Yep.
San Diego was another one of those. The Red Sox was another one of those, and the White Sox was the other.
Didn't work out very well.
It didn't work out with any of the 4. A lot of people picked the White Sox this year.
Porcello won his 22nd game of the year, 22-4. ERA of 3.11 as Boston defeated Tampa in Tampa, despite getting out hit in that game.
Well, you've got a magazine, the National Baseball Magazine. They picked the Indians to finish 5th this year.
It's not an exact science. You take a look at the hitters, you take a look at the pitching staff, you look at their bullpen, you look at everything they have going for them. But one of the things you have to factor in, which this magazine probably didn't, was the effect of that man that runs this ball club from the dugout, Terry Francona. Because if you're going to finish above 500, as Terry has now for 12 straight years, you're not going to finish 5th in the division.
Not with that pitching they had.
Ooh.
Well, Lindor, Ramirez, good pickup. Rajay Davis. But on the other side of the page, Michael Brantley out for the season.
But they also picked a good time to pick up Mike Napoli.
That has popped up. Todd's going to take charge, make the catch, and that'll retire the side. We'll go to the 8th, leading by 3.
Austin Adams comes in the ball game. He is the 7th of the Indians pitchers. On for the 18th time. His ERA, well, it's up there, 7.41. 20 hits in 17 innings. So Anderson, Manship, Crockett, Garner, Armstrong, Colon, and now Adams. Adam Moore takes over behind the plate. And Tyler Naquin, who came out to pinch hit, takes over in center field.
Let's add on a little bit, boys. As here is Morneau. He's 0 for 3. Adam, after having to sit out 4 or 5 days with that vertebrae problem in his neck. Prior to that, he was really swinging the bat. There's a strike.
Well, except for the occasional left-hander, it seems like every right-hander that anybody runs out the bullpen these days, his fastball is 95 to 97. They might all not know how to use it, but they can all throw pretty hard.
Get it, Will. So that's a good way to start it.
Just like we promised you earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite, and here's our Miller moment. A Titanic home run, the 39th of the year. That coming leading off the 6th inning. J.B. Shuck is on the pinch run.
Left going on this road trip at Ford, Kansas City. We won the first game there. Since then, we have lost 6 in a row. Lost the last 3 of that series. Lost the 2 in Philadelphia, and lost here last night. That ball was thrown away. Adjusting into second.
E1. Take another look. And that one impossible to handle for Santana as it hit about 10 feet in front of him.
JB is at second base. Outfield straight up, spread out, spaced about equidistant.
Adam Plutko loosening in the bullpen.
0-2 the count. Good take. Two and two. Lindor, double clutch. Lost the ears on it. And that'll be an error.
Lindor on the transfer as it pop up. This kind of illustrates what the Indians already know. They get a fatigued shortstop.
Usually when he's just 22, and usually when it's not mental, it's not physical fatigue that you go through. It's mental fatigue.
Well, learning how to play a full season, and he's playing his 153rd game.
And there's a base hit. So they're going to wave him around, and he will score. And it's a 5-1 lead.
RBI number 51. And the first base hit of the night for Avi as he takes it through the left side. So Adams on what appeared to be a slider that didn't do a whole lot gives up a run after a couple of errors.
Avi with a home run, 2 RBIs last night, and an RBI single this evening. And here is Avila. Yeah, when you're not used to playing 150 plus games against major league competition.
Yeah, it's just really tough.
One and one to count.
Last year, Lindor came up, played in 99 games in the major leagues.
That was off the plate, called a strike. And a count 1-2. Two on, nobody out, 1 in. 5, 12, and 1 for us. 1, 7, and 3 for them.
That's 4 of them. Four strikeouts for Alex. This is a changeup.
And 11 strikeouts for Cleveland pitching tonight. So here's Sanchez. He's 2 for 3 with 2 doubles. Takes first pitch strike, high up in the zone. There's a shot, base hit into right field. So here comes Todd. He'll score. And it's 6-1. And that'll just That'll wrap it up for Tommy Sheridan and his crew.
No, I was going to say if he gets one more, I would concede that, but 15th driven in. 3 for 4. This is a slider. Derek Francona comes out. That's going to be it for Adams. So he will depart, and as he walks out, we'll step out. Be back after these messages. The major league debut of Adam Plutko. He pitched in Double and Triple-A. We'll take a look at the Columbus numbers. That's in Triple-A. 6-5. He was a starting pitcher. ERA just over 4. Not a whole lot of strikeouts, and right-handers hit him better than left-handers. Minor league record of 29-25. Made 83 starts in his career with a cumulative ERA pretty good of 3.36.
So runners at the corners, and 1 out, 2 in. And here's Liuri. Liuri's 1 for 3. He's hit the ball very hard twice. Takes ball 1. Once again, a reminder tomorrow. Final road game of the season. Cardinals are down against Josh Tomlin, and that game will be over WGN.
They took that first pitch out of play. They're going to save that for Adam for his trophy case.
And there's a little Kansas City special. So it's a 7-1 lead.
And the second pitch that he threw turned out to be a base hit. He breaks the bat. The head of the bat goes out to second base. The baseball drops into right center.
So here's Tim. Tim 1 for 4. Started off the ball game with a base hit. Came around to score. For him, got a pretty good pitch to hit.
Yeah, And that was a breaking ball up in the zone, fouled it back.
Couldn't do anything with it. And that's up and in. That ball is going to be in the seats for a souvenir. In the dirt. So here comes Carlos. He's going to score.
Moore couldn't locate it, and Carlos saw it better than he did, so both runners move up. That'll be a wild pitch. He wanted a wipeout curveball. This ball hit high off the left side of the chest protector, bounding away. He cannot locate the baseball. By the time he does, Carlos scores.
The 8th run. Got him for out number 2. And that'll bring it Melky. Melky 2 for 4 with an RBI and a run scored. Strike 1.
Just a little off the plate.
8-1, top of the 8th. That's okay. Let go. So 25. Down to UCLA. Major in history. One and 2. Just tuning in, we scored 2 in the first. They scored 1 in the second. We scored 1 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th. And so far, 4 here in the top of the 8th. One hopper. He's got it. But a crooked number goes up on that board. We go to the bottom of the 8th, leading by 7. Comcast Sportsnet this season. I want to thank our Chuck and all the studio hosts that we have. It's really great to work with. Bill and everybody. Have a happy and a safe winter. And a pitching change.
And we got Nate Jones coming into this for the 69th time. ERA 2.39. Gonzalez comes on to pinch hit.
Eric Gonzalez hitting for Lindor. Takes first pitch strike. That one at 97, whistles right on by him, and the count 0-2.
Jesus Aguilar in the on-deck circle. He's going to come on to pinch hit.
Just did get a piece of that one.
Good way to keep warm on an otherwise cool evening. Fall has set in here in Cleveland. Gorgeous day, however.
There you go.
That'd be a great place to cook the hot dogs. Over the fire pit. This slider, no chance at all for Gonzalez.
So here's Aguilar. Mike Napoli 0 for 2 tonight with a base on balls. Napoli last night 3 for 5 with 2 big RBIs, picking up numbers 99 and 100. So congratulations go out to Mike. Career topper, first time he has hit the century mark in RBIs, and probably won't be the last. That ball's hit high and souvenir time right side.
There's a very excited fan.
Drops the breaking ball for the strike. 1-2. Phillies leading the Mets 10-6, bottom of the 8th at Citi Field.
That was 10-0 at one point. Phillies have banged out 10 hits.
Angels top of the 9th in Houston, leading the Astros 5-4. Washington top of the 9th at PNC, leading the Pirates 6-1. San Francisco shutting out the Padres 6-0, bottom of the 4th at Petco. He's got plenty of time, takes it. 2 down.
Colorado at the Dodgers, and tomorrow afternoon will be the last home game that Vin Scully will ever do for the Dodgers. 67th year. Magnificent broadcaster, and he'll do a couple more road games. No more at Dodger Stadium.
Well, we all wish he and Sandra a very happy and healthy and long retirement. That ball hit in the left field. Melky is there, and that'll retire the side. We're into the 9th, leading 8-1. Hey, Sox fans, Monday, the good guys try to set off some fireworks in the series opener as they welcome the Rays into town. Coverage begins at 6:30 on CSN Plus with White Sox pregame live presented by the Koalas family of dealerships.
He's back golfing again.
He is, and he's a pretty good player. Had a freak accident.
A bad one.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you one thing. 22 years. One of the great left-handed relievers of all time. As here. First pitch strike to Abreu. 8-1 good guys here in the top of the 9th inning. But getting back to Vin and his 67 years of broadcasting, I'm going to put a little perspective on it for you. When he started broadcasting, I was 8 years old. I'm 75 right now. Now that put it into perspective.
67 years. Yikes.
I'm telling you what, there'll never be another one. That ball into center field popped up. That's a can of corn. And that's out number 1. And what he has meant to all of us. Brady now 3 for 5 with an RBI. I hope one day he'll be able to realize just what he's meant to baseball. Just what he's meant to the Dodgers, the game. And how much passion he has had for this in all of his 67 years. He loves the game of baseball.
Well, he did work for the networks, but as far as a local team, 67 years, the same team.
Brooklyn and in LA.
Pretty amazing.
Well, he was a godsend in that respect, because going to an expansion team, moving from Brooklyn to LA, not expansion but a move, and that market out there, and they were able to enjoy him for all these years and let him teach them the game of baseball. That has popped up, Chuck.
But the interesting part about it, having played in that ballpark at a time when people would bring radios to the park, they'd bring their radios, they would sit and listen to Vin, and you'd be out on the field. It sounded like you were in a broadcast booth because everybody was listening to him, and you just heard every nuance of the broadcast you were able to hear as a player.
Yeah.
In a day and age when obviously that not going to happen again, but it was the strangest thing. It was the only ballpark in the country where that happened.
That was one of my great thrills in baseball. Was playing against the Dodgers, spring training, and meeting Vin Scully. One of my great thrills. Fouls that back. He's 1 for 4, couple of runs scored. And that ball hit deep into right center field. Stretch! Stretch! It's off the bottom of the fence. Safe!
I think he was a little surprised that that was close at second base. Naquin makes a good play out of it, fires it, and they almost get him.
Tony Randazzo in perfect position to make the call.
Gonzalez puts a tag on, but the leg is in before the tag.
So here's Avi. Avi with an RBI single. Imagine how many billions of people have heard Vin Scully.
No, in fact, they got a couple of guys. not only Vin, but Jaime Jarrín, who's a
Hall of Famer.
And every year, Jaime would do the entire postseason, and he would be heard all over Central America. And he did it in Spanish. In fact, just stopped doing it a few years back. But both of them broadcast to more people than you and I can ever imagine.
Well, and both of them are absolute perfect gentlemen.
Yep.
Two out, 1-2 the count. Watch out. Both those guys are institutions. There's David. Eight 15-1 for our guys, 1-7-3 for their guys. Just tuning in. Pitchers of record are the starters, Ken Tanifus and Cody Anderson for them. Fighting that one off. Got in on him. Baltimore beat Arizona 6-1 at Oriole Park. Boston over Tampa Bay 6-4 down in St. Pete. Toronto shuts out the Yankees 3-0 at the Rogers Center.
Baltimore is going to leapfrog over Detroit in that wild card race. Detroit giving up a 2-run lead in the 9th inning, losing to Kansas City.
Hosmer's big 3-run homer in that 9th. And there's ball 4. So that'll bring up Avila. Alex had a tough night. Oh, 1 to count. Two on, 2 out. Plutko in his major league debut. And the count moves to 1-2. That victory by Boston. They now have 91 wins. And that was their 10th win in a row.
Pretty good way to close out the show.
Got him. Alex, that's one of the good Lord. On nights like this, made tomorrows. And that's the score, 8-1.
To nail it down. On for the 60th time. ERA 3.62, 5-3 record. And he's going to face the bottom part of what will be a completely revamped Indians order. They knew a pretty tough night because they knew it was going to be a bullpen night. They started a reliever, Cody Anderson, and 8 pitchers later, Major League debut of Adam Plutko.
So here's Chris Jimenez. Hitting in Jose Ramirez's spot. Ramirez 2 for 3 tonight. A single, a double, and he scored the only Cleveland run. First pitch strike. That's low. 1-1 to count.
Indians will go into tomorrow's ball game still with a magic number of 2.
You never want to let a team celebrate.
Nope.
On you.
Nope. They still have a chance, but they're going to go to Detroit. 4 games and then Kansas City to finish it up. A road trip will end the regular season for them. The way they've beaten Detroit this year, seems like a good place to finish it off.
Yeah, 13-2 against
pretty amazing.
Detroit.
It's a team that is the closest team back to catching it.
And that ball is hit hard, but right size, wrong shape.
It's approximately like that Tyler Flowers foul ball in his ballpark that he hit 8 miles, but foul.
Remember the one Tyler hit a target field foul? Just foul.
Yeah, another one there.
Those people up in those suites aren't used to seeing that. He gone. 1 out. So here's Geyer. Couple of hits. Hard single, hard double. If you're just tuning in, watch out.
That's the 31st time he got hit. He's caught him right off the left elbow.
They made the right move.
Yep. That one he couldn't get out of the way of.
No. Sometimes that ball is just like a meat sinking missile. It's going to hunt you down.
Yeah, 0 chance of getting out of the way of that one.
So here's Almonte. Abraham. There are his numbers. Played sparingly against us this season, but when he did, he looked pretty good.
He will not be eligible to go into the postseason. We can help him get there. Because of his suspension, PEDs, he cannot play. He's not eligible for postseason play.
Once again against us, looking pretty good. So the double puts Geyer on third. So here's Tyler Naquin. Naquin grounded out in the 7th. Hit the ball sharply. Quickly 2 strikes.
Naquin's going to be in the running for Rookie of the Year. Nomar Mazara, Texas Rangers. Probably has the inside track at that. Was a good-looking young hitter.
He gone. The old hook. 2 down. Yeah. Good looking left-handed hitter.
He's got a chance to be pretty good, and he's in a great ballpark for left-hand hitters.
Well, you know, we were talking about Jeff Bannister, second year in a row. He's got the division. He paid his dues in the minor leagues, but the thing also was all the health problems he had in the Oakland game. Well, he had a top. Bannister is a big, strong guy.
We're getting his first at bat.
That evens the count at 1. Two out, 1-2 the count.
Nice to see tonight. Jose Quintana get off to that rocky start. Looked like he could have given up a lot of runs in either the first or second inning. As it turned out, he gave up 1 combined over the first 2, and then it was pretty smooth sailing after that.
I'll tell you what, he's been amazing. The way he is not afraid to pitch out of a jam. Pretty good rip.
Knowing with this one tonight, it's going to ensure the fact that he's going to be over 500, and he just adds to his career high in wins.
He gone, and this ball game is over. So our Sox break a 6-game losing streak. As Quintana, as you just summed it up, boy, he pitched out some gems.
It was a battle early, and then things got a whole lot better for him, and he now 7-3 against the Indians' lifetime. Threw it very well, and 13th win. Very impressive year for Jose Quintana. So early game tomorrow, get your rest.
Oh, I'll do that. All right, so for my partner Steve Stone, for our Hall of Fame director Jimmy Angio, for our producer John Walker, for our associate producer Dave Ross, and very fine technical manager Mark Harper, and also Justin Quaid, Dave Hammond, Don Clements, Mike Bixenstein, and our executive producer Jim Corno Jr. This is a Hawk. So long, everybody. Coming up next, Subaru Postgame Live with Chuck and Belton Bill Melton. Watching White Sox baseball on Comcast Sportsnet.